I'm Doug Lehman with Barb Giamanco, and we're the Sales Accelerators. We talk strategies to improve sales performance. Barb, hot topic. Not being able to read your buyer, convey and solve a message. Not being able to articulate a solution to the problem. I don't know how to say it so many times. You're not in sync with your buyer. Why is that?
Well, I think part of it, Doug, is that if you take a look at sales as a profession overall, about 40% of companies are not actually onboarding their sellers. In other words, they're training them on the features and benefits of a product, and they're teaching them how to do demos, but they're not really teaching them how to be good consultative sellers. And so what that means is they're taught to go into the pitch, and they're not really doing early stage research before the meeting to try and figure out what problems might be going on. Moreover, they're not asking the right questions in the sales meeting.
They're not strategizing. They're not really going into the discovery phase. They're going right into pitch mode, right into demo mode. They think you're just going to look good, show up, and throw up on your presentation, and you're not solving any problems. That's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem, as a matter of fact. So let me tell you a story about that. So a VP of a large telecommunications company, right? He's the salesperson. She's gotten a meeting with him. You can't go any higher. He's the guy. And they already have a solution inside the organization that is a competing product. During the course of the conversation, the VP says to her, well, why would I want to buy your product, right? Because we've already got a product that we've invested in and my salespeople aren't using it.
Well, that's a trigger point right there. They're not using it. They're not happy with it. What would be the follow-up?
Right. So as you might expect, what happened is, because of course everybody's so enamored with all the features of their products, what happened was she rolled into starting to talk about why their features were better than the competitors' features. And in that moment, she communicated to him that it was a commodity sale. He sent her over to operations. They had a series of meetings. It looked like maybe a sales deal was going to happen, but of course, as you know, it didn't happen. Right?
She didn't, the rep, he or she didn't convey any value about what they're looking to fix.
That's right.
They didn't do any justification of their homework, any strategy. They just went into pitch mode.
That's right.
And no value, and they became on the vendor list, not as a trusted advisor.
That's right. So the way that conversation could have gone in a much more positive way in terms of getting the sales result that you're looking for, forget your product for a moment. You'll get a chance to show it later. You're talking to the VP of sales. Right then she had the opportunity to ask questions. Well, what do you think went wrong? Why do you think your people aren't using it? Do you think it's an operational issue? Do they need more training? Is it possible that they don't really understand how if they use this solution, they can drive more sales revenue? See, that conversation, Doug, is what would have led to a sales outcome.
And you know what you said about that, if it's a complex sale and they've got to go through different decision makers, maybe uncovering those needs, you may have to go back for a second and third call, but at least you're further along than just going into pitch mode and thinking, hey, all right, and then all of a sudden you're crickets, you're not hearing anything from them.
That's right.
And you didn't even uncover the need.
That's
You've
right.
wasted your time. You're trying to do discovery phase. Or you're not even doing discovery phase. You're just in pitch mode. You're not even discovering. You're not even finding the need. You're wasting time.
That's right. And this is the VP of sales. Now
Right.
you don't get a chance to go back. You've blown it until another VP of sales comes in, or maybe you've got another salesperson who's going to be put on the case, but you've lost that opportunity. And what a shame. So again, think about it. When you're talking to the C-suite exec, he gave the clues, Doug. If
Served
that
it
person,
up on a silver platter.
had just asked the right questions, it could have gone in a whole different way. But unfortunately, she just communicated commodity in his mind. They both were about the same, so now it's a price thing. And oh, by the way, by the time it got to ops is like, well, why bother? They're about the same.
Yeah, you've got to be able to
That's right.
adjust your presentation style to uncover needs. You got to be an agile seller.
Absolutely.
You've got to be able to adapt and uncover needs. It's a process. If you can't solve a solution, maybe you can't, but at least determine what the needs are.
That's right. Well, and it gets back to being present and listening and taking your sales agenda off the table. Again, in that particular situation, why roll into a technical discussion with the decision maker? Right? Have that technical discussion with the other right decision maker, right? Who's maybe going to influence or weigh in on it. But when you're sitting in front of the VP of sales and he tells you that why should he invest because he's already got a similar product and it's not doing the job, throw the pitch out the window and find out what the problem is.
Convey value in your message. and definitely know who you're talking to, have a strategy, work the room, but work the room conveying value to each and every person that's a decision maker, from the C-level executive on down to the users of the product. They all have value, they all have needs, but you got to find out those needs.
Absolutely.
I'm Doug Lehman with Barb Giamanco. We are the Sales Accelerators. We talk strategies, we talk tips on how to convey value in your sales message. Remember to connect, collaborate, and close.